Good evening. This is the Auburn Finance Committee meeting of Wednesday, June 4, 2014. Our agenda tonight at 7 o'clock, call to order. We're going to review and vote on some transfer requests. We're also going to vote to authorize the CFO to verbally approve transfers up to $250 to close out the fiscal year, which is something we normally do at this time of the year. We've got some minutes to accept, and then we'll adjourn. We do have several transfers, including several relating to the snow and ice deficit. So let's get right into this. Our first transfer tonight, this is under the library. This is a transfer from the director's salary account. Amount requested $4,500 to the buildings and grounds account for chain link fence, fire radio for alarm, electrician, and garage lighting, work on the door for microfilm room, and miscellaneous repairs. We've got Carol Ann McMaster here. Carolyn, you want to come on up and tell us about these changes here? I must have just
Hello.
reached puberty here. My voice changed. Sorry. Go ahead. Nice to see you.
Hello. I'm part-time right now as the interim director, so there's some funds left over that will help the library and the town make the library more safe. One of them is the chain link fence that you see. Let me give you my paperwork.
Sure. Thank you.
Those are some pictures of their of the waterfall that is directly abuts the library. There is no fence on it. There's a 12-foot drop from that concrete wall there onto the concrete waterfall. If a child goes over, it's not going to be a pretty sight. On just the left of that, there's a rock wall which has sharp rocks going off about 51 feet. The fence company has very graciously offered to put a black chain link 4-foot high 51 feet worth of a fence up for us to create the safety barrier there and still allow the kids to look out into the water to see the turtles floating around and those wonderful geese that are bothering us. At like $1,200, which is very nice of them. You know, that's pretty much just for the materials. When the phone system was updated in the library, somehow the fire alarm hard line was deactivated. In order to correct that, we needed to put a radio antenna on the building and update the alarm system. So that was about $700. We also have some other construction that's going on. In the main part of the library, we have a new carpet going in pretty soon, some new handicap doors that are going in, and along with those projects, we have a room which is maybe an 8x8 room that is just used as a closet right now. I want to empty that room out, put a door on it so that you can see into that room, so it actually looks like a room versus a closet, and move my microfilm machine in there so that patrons can use the microfilm in that room, and they don't feel as though they're in a closet because they have the windows on either side. We also, during the time that the library will be essentially closed, if we don't do something else, when the carpet goes in, it's between 9 and 15 days, depending on what's under the carpet. So in order to keep the library open, we have the garage in the back of the library, and we are going to convert that into a temporary or satellite library. We have internet access through there, so we need new lighting to go through there so that it doesn't look like a garage, it looks like a library. And it won't be just a one-time thing that we're just using for the carpet. If we're successful in creating a little satellite library back there, we can use it long-term for our friends group for their book sales afterwards. So that's kind of where the money is earmarked for right now.
That's great. Just curious on the impetus for addressing, I'll say, the potential hazard that is resulting in the chain link fence request. Where did that emanate from?
Well, if you walk over to it,
I've been over there, I know, was there a complaint going on?
We have story times going on, and what happens is the parents park themselves in front of that section to stop the children from running.
Okay, Chief
Not really
Coleman,
the
something to add
greatest
here?
safety barrier.
Chief Coleman's here tonight.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Chair. I will say that during the Memorial Day festivities, the Auburn Police Department spent a good majority of the time at the dam trying to keep children from sitting on the side of it. They were actually sitting there dangling their feet over. So from a public safety perspective, I think I can speak for the Auburn Police as well, that we would certainly encourage this. I do know that they had quite a few issues on Memorial Day.
Okay, I fully agree with that, too. I guess it's like, boy, how long's that dam been there, and why didn't we think of this sooner? So
You didn't have me
kudos
before
to you
that.
folks, Excellent, very good. I'm going to open it up to questions. Chris, I know you just got here. Have you had a chance to take a look at this?
Nope.
Okay. Anyone else have any questions on this? All right, do we have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, so voted. Thank you very much, Carolina. Good luck tonight.
Thank you.
Thank you. And by no mere coincidence, Chief Coleman is here for some transfers. Chief, thanks for coming up tonight.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
We've got 4 transfers, all going to the new equipment account. I'll accept a motion to take these all as one transfer.
Motion? Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed. Chief, I'm just going to read these real quick, and then if you
Sure.
can fill us in on this.
Absolutely.
The first of the 4 is from the dues and meeting account. We're emptying the full balance, $1,257.38. The second account, the license and certifications account, we're also using that full balance available of $2,388.55. The firefighter salary account, and we're using that full balance that's available of $5,762.02. In the training account, which has a present balance of just over $3,800, and we're using $1,500, all going to the new equipment account. Chief, approximate amount of transfer?
10,700.
Okay, and if you could explain to us what the transfer is for?
Sure. As you stated, Mr. Chairman, all of this is going into the new equipment account. This past April, we graduated 4 new call firefighters from the recruit training program. So $7,200 of that will be purchasing new protective equipment for those new members. A little over $2,700 will be used to purchase some various hand tools, some axes, a crowbar, 4 flashlights, and the largest purchase out of that is a water vacuum. Ours broke this past winter, our salvage water vacuum. That's a little over $1,600. And that about makes up that is the request of the transfers.
Okay, that's great. I'll open up to questions. Any questions from the board? Then I'll
Motion
accept
to
the motion.
approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, so voted. Great, thanks, Chief.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening.
Good to see you. Okay, our next transfer tonight is from the reserve account, where has a present balance of $136,454 approximately. Amount requested, $42,234.78 to the salary and wage reserve. The signature on this is from our CFO, Mr. Kazanovich. Can you explain the transfer?
Sure, this is to meet the transfers being requested out of the salary and wage reserve account. About $42,000 of this is going into snow and ice to meet the deficit in the part-time wages, as well as a $21,000 deficit in the overtime account. There are transfers in your packet, separate transfers that address both of those line items.
42 instead of 48.
Okay.
48.
Mr. Chairman, I would respectfully request that we change that amount.
Okay.
And I just want to make sure, and it is, that transfer was prepared a little early today. That transfer should be requested in the amount of $48,234.78. There is a packet that I provided to you. The top page indicates the transfers that are being requested out of both the reserve and the salary and wage reserve account that are provided in the packet.
Okay, so the amount was off by $6,000.
Correct.
If I'm reading correctly here, Ed. And if you could, all of these dollars are for wages and related, I'll say salary type things relating to the snow and ice? Or not?
About $43,000 of the 48 is being requested to cover deficits in snow and ice.
All right, I'll open it up to questions at this point. I know we've got several other transfers.
Mr. Chairman, one other comment before you act on this, just to let you know, I'm giving you a balance, provided all the transfers are approved tonight. It would leave $73,764.16 remaining in the regular reserve account. In the salary and reserve account, we provided just enough money to cover the transfers, and there would be zero balance in that account.
Okay, great, thank you. Question? Kim?
Where's the balance of the transfer going? Are there other transfers here?
There are two other transfers that address some contractual obligations.
Okay.
All right, any other questions?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, so voted, thank you. Okay. Our next several transfers are DPW. First will be DPW's Cemetery Department. We've got DPW Director Bill Coyle and Wayne Bloomquist here. Wayne, Natalie attired tonight. Very good, very good.
Good evening.
Well, we'll take these one at a time at the moment and get through them. First transfer is from the water account, and we're transferring $331.76 to the heating oil account to cover outstanding heating oil bill for cemetery offices. Is this the final bill for the fiscal year, Wayne?
Yes, it is.
Okay.
What had happened was we were on a rotating basis where they automatically fill us at the cemetery, and prior to that, we were on call. So we called them and said, that's it for the year,
Yeah.
this fiscal year.
Mm-hmm, okay. Any questions on this?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, so voted. Second transfer, also from the water account. The amended balance in that account is now $320. Amount requested $175 for uniforms to cover uniform service through 6/30/2014. Any questions on this?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor? Aye, opposed, so voted. Thank you. Final transfer under this is also from the water account, $145, which will zero out that account, to the supplies and equipment account to allow for the purchase of supplies through 6/30/2014. Any questions on this? Have a motion?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye, opposed, so voted. Thank you. And we'll move on to the DPW Parks Division. Wayne, thanks for sticking around for this. Our first, actually, let's see, yeah, our first transfer is from the water, the Veterans Memorial Corridor Parks. Present balance of $2,980, amount requested $1,800. Due to a shortage in, this will be the overtime account due to unexpected overtime and differentials. Wayne, any comments on that for us?
Pardon?
Any comments on this?
Well, what's the situation is, we haven't needed the excess water on the Veterans Corridor, but the overtime was needed for a couple of situations where guys were called in for lights that had gone out in the restrooms at Lemansky, or flags that needed repair, or different things like that.
Okay. Thank you. Any questions on this? Have a motion?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, so voted, thank you. Also from the Water Veterans Memorial Corridor Parks, amount requested is $400 for electricity for the Veterans Memorial Corridor Parks due to higher than anticipated electric bills for the Veterans Parks.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, so voted. Thank you. And also some additional parks transfer. The next three are all going for maintenance of fields. I'll accept a motion to take all three transfers as one.
So moved.
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, so voted. Thank you. The first is from the electricity account for the Pappas Complex. Amount requested $500 for maintenance of fields. Wayne, I'm going to read all through these, and then if you want to just give me a quick update on, that'd be great.
Okay.
The second transfer is from the Water Veterans Memorial Corridor, and the amount requested is the balance of $780. The third transfer is water for the Pappas Complex. Amount requested is $3,200 to clear that account out. Now, is there sufficient balance on that water for the Veterans Memorial Corridor?
Yes, we have enough for that.
Separate account on that?
Yes.
Okay,
What it is it's the excess amounts from these accounts that we've accumulated to go towards the mulch for the playgrounds, for the Lemansky Park and the different schools. Every other year, we contribute to the different playgrounds.
okay. Were those underfunded, or were we just not specific to mulch purchases?
Well, this is for the filling in, the low spots like under swings and stuff like that
Yep.
for the different playgrounds.
Okay. Any other questions? Have a motion?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, so voted. Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you, Wayne. Thank you, sir. Our next set of motions, and Ed, I don't think they're all snow and ice on this next one here, going to the town engineer salary. We should filibuster this one, for God's sakes. All right. Anyways, this is DPW Highway. We have a transfer from engineer aid. Present balance is 73 cents. Amount requested is, yes, 2 cents to the town engineer salary. And if I had a hat, we'd pass that along, Bill. And I'm not going to ask for an explanation on this. Do we have a motion on this?
So moved.
Do we have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, so voted. Thank you. The three additional transfers on this are to the salt and calcium accounts. I'll accept a motion to take these three as one.
So moved.
Do I have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, so voted. Thank you. The first is from the engineer aid account. We are just draining this thing out. 71-cent transfer. The second is from stormwater wages. Amount requested $4,425.60. The third transfer is from GIS and inspections of 14 cents. All this is going to the salt and calcium account as part of the snow and ice deficit that we have. Any questions? Bill, any comments from you just generally on the snow and ice? I know we've got several more, I'm sure.
Sure, a couple of comments. First, the stormwater wages relative to this transfer, there's funds available due to a vacancy for that position in the highway department. We're currently filling that position, and we will have somebody starting on Monday, but because of that vacancy, it did create a additional funding available for the deficit. What I would add is I believe the total deficit is somewhere in the order of 90-some-odd thousand, and in speaking with other communities, we were roughly around just under 400,000, I think, total spent, but other communities of similar size, I think, were over $500,000 range. So I felt pretty good about where our numbers ended up, given the severity of the winter that we did have. So.
Good.
I'd be happy to answer any questions relative to snow and ice, though, too.
It's good to hear. And I will leave it open to questions, even as we come along looking at other accounts on that. Any questions for DPW Director at this point? Do we have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, so voted. Thank you. Excuse me. The next two transfers, also DPW Highway, are going to the salt and calcium account. I'll accept a motion to take these two as one.
Kim, I'll send another one down. Sorry, good.
Do we have
Last one
a,
to the party.
do we have a motion?
Motion?
Do we have a second?
Second.
Second,
All in
sorry.
favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Ed, you distracted my team up here, come on.
I apologize.
Stick with the program. The first transfer is skilled craftsman differential, amount requested $1,173.92. The second transfer is from part-time custodian, amount requested $1,750. Once again, this is going to the salt and calcium account. Any questions for Mr. Coyle at this point?
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye, opposed? So voted, thank you. This is also DPW, and we have two more transfers to the salt and calcium account. I'll accept a motion to take these two. Thank you.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? So voted, thank you. First is from Insect Control, amount requested $1.18. The second transfer is from wages full-time, amount requested is $26,000. That's from a present balance of $34,700. Any questions on this?
Question? Which account is this, the wages full-time?
That's the highway employees' full-time account. And again, the reason for this number of 26,000 is we've had several employees out on workman's compensation, so the majority of their salary is through workman's comp. Once they run out of sick leave, then they don't draw from the town at all.
Okay, thank you.
Any other questions? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? So voted, thank you. Excuse me. Our next transfer is from the reserve account, DPW Highway. Also salt and calcium, amount requested, $11,124.94. Any questions on this?
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? So voted, thank you. Okay. Excuse me, also under DPW Highway, are all these transfers still due to the snow and ice deficit?
Yes.
Okay. The first three transfers are going to the winter sand account. I'll accept a motion to take these three as one.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, so voted. This is to the winter sand account. Once again, this is part of the snow and ice deficit. The first transfer is from the equipment, I believe that'll be rental account. Amount requested $5.12. The second transfer from the, bless you, asphalt material account, $1.93 requested. The third is stormwater wages. Amount requested is $1,726. Do I have any questions or a motion on this?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? So voted. And our last transfer on this page is also from the stormwater wages account. Amount requested, $6,315.20 to equipment rental. This is still part of the snow and ice deficit. Questions or a motion?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? So voted. Thank you. Still on DPW Highway. We've got 4 transfers going to the storm tree removal account. I'll accept a motion to accept these as one.
So moved.
Motion.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? So voted. Thank you. The first is Highway Superintendent, amount requested 12 cents. Second, Assistant DPW Director, amount requested 39 cents. Third transfer request is from Clerical, $8.49. And the fourth transfer from Wages Full-Time, $476 even. Any questions? Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, so voted. Thank you. Our last transfer on this page is from Wages Full-Time, amount requested $1,319.26 to the Storm Meals account. Any questions?
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, so voted. Thank you. Okay, our next is also DPW Highway. This is going to the overtime highway account. I'll accept the motion to take these two transfers as one.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, so voted. Thank you. First is from Stormwater Overtime. Amount requested is $526. I will zero that account out. The second is from Wages Full-Time. Amount requested $1,200. Any questions?
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, so voted. Thank you. We have a reserve account transfer, also DPW Highway, to the overtime snow account. Amount requested $21,745.10. Any questions, or do I have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, so voted.
He's gonna fall asleep. 7 this year.
Also from the reserve account, DPW Highway, under part-time wages, snow amount requested, $21,542.95. Questions, comments, motion?
Motion to recommend.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, so voted.
So we just finished a whole bunch of transfers, 97,000 something. Does that completely eliminate the snow and ice deficit?
Yes.
Excellent. Good job, you guys.
And just to put things in perspective, that 97, if a supplemental appropriation was not addressed at the fall town meeting, to increase that by 50, we would have been requesting 147, and it would have depleted our reserve. So we're going to continue to look at our history relative to snow and ice. When the opportunity arises, we'd like to make additional commitment to future funding for that, to take the pinch off the need to go into the reserve account at year end on an annual basis.
If I could add to that through the chair, I believe going back, looking at previous budgets, the three-year average, it's been going down, but if you look back further in the budgets, they were running around 350,000, I believe, or 345 per year. So we weren't too far over an average, even though obviously it was not an average winter. So we were just under 400.
Good.
Good
Excellent.
job.
Yep, well done.
Thank you.
And by the way, how's the street sweeping?
Very good. I can say that I think we will be, if the weather cooperated the rest of the week with the rain, we probably won't wrap it up this week, but we're in Precinct 5, which is the last precinct, and we expect to be done next week. So it seems as though we're shaving about a month of labor off of our street sweeping, and that's using 3 to 4 people from the DPW to sweep. So there's significant savings in the amount of time that we're spending sweeping the roads as well.
Excellent. Great. Thanks, Bill. Our next set of transfers, this is under DPW Stormwater. There's 3 transfers, all going to the replace pipes/basins account. I'll accept a motion to take these as one.
So moved.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, so voted. Thank you. First is from the de-weeding ponds account. We'll be draining that account. I had to say that. Sorry. Amount requested $7,357. The second transfer is from the GIS and inspections account. We'll also zero out that balance, $1,342 requested, and the annual reporting account, we're transferring that full balance remaining of $1,780. What's that, somewhere up close to 10 grand?
Little, yeah, a
Little
little
over.
over.
10, thank you. Any questions on this, or Bill, any comments on?
Just I could add that the annual reporting is now being done by the assistant town engineer, which resulted in this number being available. In addition, some of the GIS and inspection work as well, she's performing. So we're utilizing the consultant a little less. And also the de-weeding of ponds, the bids came in lower than expected. So we budgeted, I believe, $35,000. The bids came in around $30,000. It was some, there were additional funds, I believe, from last year, carryover from de-weeding of ponds as well.
And we're zeroing that account out with this.
Correct.
On the replaced pipes and basins, is there any success story here on what was completed, or?
What I can say to that is, as we reconstruct the roadway, during the design process, we inspect the system, and what we are finding is that through the stormwater budget, the one item that seems to be underfunded would be the replaced pipes and catch basins. So anytime there's funds available, I think it's a good place, if we go from one aspect of stormwater, if there's a savings, to maybe increase that, because we definitely find a lot of the pipes in town are completely deteriorated. The bottoms are completely rotted out. For example, we're on Millbrae Street working now and replacing most all the catch basins with precast concrete structures. And if you drive around town, you can see a lot of the grates are sinking and a lot of the structures are caving in. So we're finding that there's definitely more need to replace a lot of the drainage infrastructure. So that's what these funds will go towards.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions or comments? To a motion?
Second.
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So voted. Thank you. The next set of transfers under DPW Highway. These are all going to the sweeper brooms account. There is 1, 2, 3, 4 transfers. I'll accept the motion to take these as one.
So moved. Second.
All in favor? Aye. Aye. Opposed? So voted. Okay, the first is from the streetline painting account, amount requested $623.53. Second from the plow blades account, $85.49. The third transfer is from new equipment, balance of $49.99 requested. And the de-weeding ponds account, amount requested is $330, leaving $4,000 in that account. So this is what, around $1,100, just over that for the sweeper brooms. Why do I remember the past requests well into the thousands on this? Are we just not going
Sweeper
through
brooms?
this? Yeah.
Well, I can say a couple of things. In a few years back, I believe the brooms were getting purchased through the roadway improvement account, and I think because that was a CIP several years ago, we're moving towards budgeting this item. So I think we're underfunding that item, that line item. But I think because we've cut a month of sweeping off of the timeframe that equipment is being used, obviously it's less wear and tear on the brooms themselves.
Thanks, Bill. Any questions? Do a motion on this?
Motion to recommend.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Thank you. See, also under DPW Highway, we have a transfer from the wages full-time account, amount requested $229.70 to the advertising account. The reason for the transfer, need to place an ad in the newspaper for material bids.
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Okay, also under DPW Highway, transfer from the skilled craftsman differential, amount requested $900 to protective clothing for the purchase of T-shirts for a new DPW employee, and to pay for the contractual cleaning of uniforms until June 30th. A motion on this?
Motion to recommend.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, so voted, thank you. Okay. And let's see, to the DPW Sewer Division. We have Jeff Mitchell here. Jeff, good to see you. Good to see you up and around. We have a transfer from the wages account, present balance just over $14,000. Amount requested is $11,000 for electricity to cover a shortage due to one-time energy-efficient lighting upgrade charges. That sounds oxymoronic here. I'm kidding, but if you can give us a little bit of detail on that.
This past year, we entered into a contract that was through National Grid, and they supplemented, I believe it was 70% funding as far as energy-efficient lighting. We did, I think, about 95% of the town buildings, town hall included, police, fire stations, and whatnot. And each department, the extra money that we had to pay, it was $7,000, $8,000, $9,000 was our 30% share of the cost, which I think there's a 3 to 4 year payback as far as the, our amount that we paid towards it.
Good, good. In the availability within the wage account, what's explaining that?
The availability is twofold. We had, well, actually threefold. One employee left, and hiring his replacement, he started at a lower rate of pay and has been working his way up, is the second part. And then the third part is we have one employee out of workman's comp as well.
Okay. Any other questions? Have a motion?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Thank you. Thanks, Jeff. Another transfer here. It's under the Fleet Maintenance Division of the DPW. A transfer from the education account. We'll be zeroing out that balance of $524.55 to the motor vehicle repairs account to cover unforeseen fleet motor vehicle repairs. Any questions? Have a motion?
So moved.
Have a second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted.
Mr. Chairman, if
Yes, sir.
if I may, I'd like to give you just a quick update on the fleet maintenance program.
Absolutely.
To date, things have been going fairly smooth. We've, knock on wood, haven't had any major breakdowns that we've had to send out. There's been a couple instances where we've had to send the fire apparatus out, because of the specialty equipment on it. But we've been able to manage and maintain and repair a good 95 to 96% of all the repairs in-house, which in turn, to date, has shown a savings compared to last year's budget. And also, if you may recall, anytime between December to this time of year, on an annual basis, the fire department had been in numerous times for transfers, either interdepartmental or reserve transfers into their motor vehicle repair account, as well as the highway division have been in numerous times. So this is the first year, I believe, in 3 to 5 years that there's been no transfers into any motor vehicle repair account. And I am showing in actual numbers compared to last year, $126,229.82 as of today savings compared to last year.
Nice.
So
I'm
the program
Jeff-
is working.
Jeff, you mumbled that number, I think. Could you repeat that? Just a little,
$126,229.82.
that's what I thought you said.
Savings.
That's what I thought you said. That's great. Thank you. And I know that takes a lot of teamwork to execute that way. And I guess we can say, let's hope it's even better next year, for what that's worth.
Hope so.
So, thanks, Jeff.
Thank you.
Good to see you. Well, that's good news. Our next transfer, this is under, let's call it elections, however where that's spelled. This is for miscellaneous election supplies. Amount requested is $450. This would be for the recount, I believe that's going on tomorrow here at Town Hall. And our town clerk has added a letter just explaining what's needed. So this is going to cover certain costs related to the recount request. Any questions? I'm sure Ed can probably answer anything related to that.
Motion to approve?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Ed, can you tell us as we're going through this, what the total cost of the recount is supposed to?
Yeah, in discussions I had with the town clerk, her estimate was somewhere in the vicinity of $6,000.
$6,000.
That would include legal, as well as police overtime, their presence during the recount, as well as supplies and other miscellaneous costs.
Okay, and I guess they're coming up under these next transfers we're looking at. All right. Our next transfer, this is from Legal Services. Under Town Council, amount requested is $3,000. There's an encumbered amount in there. And reason is legal services for recount of election of May 20, 2014. Any questions on this? Have a motion?
You have a question, Mr. Chairman?
No question, I'm sorry, Kim.
The 13,505, that's encumbered, is that just, this is town council, so this would be,
Right, we have money encumbered for services that are anticipated by town council to get us through June 30th. The monthly average would just about utilize all of that, not knowing what those invoices are at this point. I think what's known is an estimate that's been provided to the town clerk for the presence of town council for the recount. So we're covering that cost anyway. In the end, there may be some money left over in this account, but we wanted to make sure that we met that liability for at least the services provided to the town for tomorrow's recount.
so can you give us, how much have we expended on town council for the whole year?
We've done very well in comparison to prior fiscal year. Town council, annual appropriation 75, we spent $61,495 to date, with a balance of $13,505. That's encumbered. On negotiator, $50,000, we spent $38,000. $135,05, balance of $11,864. We have not asked for a transfer, nor do we anticipate asking for any other transfers to get us through the remaining fiscal year. I think the history would show that we've come in well before the end of the fiscal year to meet some legal obligations that the town was obligated to meet, so good news on that front.
Yes, thank you.
Absolutely. Any other questions? Do we have a motion on this?
Motion to approve.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Thank you. Our next transfer under Town Manager, this is professional services. Amount requested $330. This is also for relating to the election recount constable services. There is an encumbered amount of just over $3,000. Any questions on this, or do we have a motion?
Question?
Yep.
So does it look like this is the total cost for the recount, $3,780? If you add these three transfers?
And then there's police overtime. That's not included as part of that total. I believe 2 or 3 officers for the period of the recount.
And at the moment, that'll stay under their, whatever's availability.
Right, I think right now that would come under their regular OT line item. It's going to be very close as to whether or not that's going to meet at least payroll obligation through the end of the month. We may have to come back at a later time this month or early July to ask for a request to meet whatever payroll is paid by way of overtime.
Okay. Good for you? Mm-hmm. Excellent. Any other questions, or do you have a motion?
Motion to approve?
Second?
All in favor? Aye. Opposed? So voted. Thank you. Okay. Our next transfer, this is under Human Resources. This is from the Reserve Fund. Under Human Resources, amount requested $1,000 for medical exams, to pay for medical exams, Department of Transportation exams, drug testing, et cetera. And we've got a present balance in that account of $136,000 plus dollars. Any questions, Fred, on that, or we good?
Second.
Second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? So voted. Thank you. And we're getting there. Next transfer under General Services. I'm going to take these separately. From Insurance and Bonds, Law requested $2,000 for professional services, general mechanical / circulating pump. You had any idea what's an equipment repair, or?
Yes, this is a pump that takes the water that's heated by the boiler and disperses it to the HVA system, which delivers it throughout the building. We have two pumps. One pump was down, the second pump went down. So we had at least get one back up and running. And we will try to address some funds to address some other heating, cooling needs throughout this building in the upcoming fiscal year.
Okay. Any other questions on this? Do I have a motion?
Motion?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Thank you. Let's see, transfer also from Insurance and Bonds, and that adjusted balance is now $3,401. Amount requested $543.59 to office supplies, and this would be for copy paper replenish. Any questions?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Thank you. Third is from the town report account, and we're transferring the full remaining balance, $699, to the advertising account, and it's for advertising for the Council on Aging, Library, and MIS Director.
Motion?
Second?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Thank you.
Question?
Ed?
Yeah, just a quick question. We had a few requests to transfer the funds when the employees out on workers' comp. Is there any trends in general about, do we have more employees going out now on workers' comp than in the past? I was thinking how it will impact the experience, and then the insurance will go up later.
It definitely does affect our experience. As a matter of fact, we are meeting with our rep Friday of this week to go over the renewals for the upcoming fiscal year. It was our expectation that our mod factor was actually going to go down because our caseload has dropped. We went from a high of 3 years ago. That rating is based upon a 3-year history. 3 years ago, we were at a high, we came down, we seem to be going back a little bit, our caseload has increased. So it all depends. So we're hoping, keeping our fingers crossed, that the premium will go down because our mod rate is going to go down. We also actively manage our cases now, so to the best that we can, we try to get the employees back to work as soon as possible, whether it's through some type of intervention. We're working closely with the insurance carrier to rehab our injured employees as quickly as possible. We look at the medical claims and try to contain it as best we can. And if we have to, sometimes we order our own medical evaluations if there's a dispute between a medical opinion on the town side versus the doctor side on the employee side. So that has been a focus of ours the last couple of years, but you just never know.
Because a lot of times when we get the requests, I'm always like, geez, but it's not really like free money available, because on the other side, our expenses.
Right, we're paying for that through premium. They are allowed to draw roughly, because they're getting 60% under workers' comp. Contracts do allow the town to pay 40% of that through use of sick, vacation, or whatever else. So that's how we're able to accumulate some of that money, but clearly recognizing the fact that we're paying for it on the other end as well, so. Good point.
Very good point, Ed. Thank you. Okay, our next transfer is from the reserve account. This is from the Department of Finance / accountant, and this is, my request is $3,445, buyback vacation, reason for shortage. This is a buyback of 8 vacation days in accordance with provisions of Article Number 4 of the employment contract. Any questions on this?
Motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Thank you. And our last transfer, also from the reserve account, under manager. And this is also a manager buyback vacation, amount requested $5,441. Reason for shortage, this to fund contractual obligation for buyback vacation option in accordance with Section 7 of the employment contract. The motion or any questions?
Motion?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Thank you. Great, that's all the transfers. At this time, agenda item number 3, I'll accept a motion to vote to authorize the chief financial officer to verbally approve transfers up to $250 to close out the fiscal year.
Second.
No deliberations on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? So voted. Ed, as I remember, these still come back before us for votes, because it's a verbal, or is it just my
I think we
John
provide a
Hancock on this?
packet to you, based upon the number of transfers that are approved under this provision.
Okay.
And I think you approve them as a packet, or,
I think we just give them to you because you've already
Yeah.
authorized.
All right, and at that point, do I just have to sign them off?
no.
I
like that
usually
even
just keep
better.
the whole packet together. and-
Okay, good. That sounds real good. Okay, did we approve that? I believe we did, right? Okay. Also, we had minutes from, is it March of 13? I missed the date on that.
March
Any?
6th. Yeah, March 6th.
Thank you.
No question on the minutes, but I just flipped it and noted that back then, when we were setting up the fleet versus prior year's repairs, Mr. Mitchell set a preliminary estimate of $22,000 to $24,000 in savings. And what was it, $126,000?
So we need to replace Mr. Mitchell in terms of budgeting. The hell's he doing?
So that's
Can you
pretty
get him
bad.
back, Bill?
So basically, we
500% above what.
$100,000 more than anticipated,
It's too conservative.
which is exactly what I would have expected, because we do that.
Excellent, and that's a great point to highlight, Kim.
Yeah,
Thank you
well,
very
I
much.
just happened to flip and see that, it was kind of
Nice, that's,
caught my attention.
absolutely, no, that's great.
Nice job, you guys.
Excellent job. Put
him to sleep.
At this point, Ed, my guess is you're going to want us to come back one more time before the fiscal year end, or is that going to be
I
necessary?
reviewed the budget this afternoon, only to see if there were any potential deficits looming. As a result of this week's payroll, Medicare went in the hole by $2,000. So I took a look at the history of last year's Medicare obligation as it relates to the payroll for last year, and we know it's approximately 2% higher. And roughly about $25,000 is needed for the remaining balance of the fiscal year. Now, we know we have it in reserve, but there are other accounts that have some accumulated savings under employee benefits as well. So I asked HR to take a look at that. I will sit down sometime this week, next week. We will estimate that. But certainly, I think knowing that we have the money in place, we can wait probably till the end of June or beginning of July. Whatever fits your schedule, we can make it fit.
Okay, so I guess I kind of pulled to see availability. It's coming into vacation season for people. Any thoughts? Any people trying to get away or early July?
And Mr. Chairman, if it's limited to one transfer, if you would like to authorize that and we can bring it back at a later date, or...
Yeah, my concern is if it's a significant dollar amount, I'd prefer not to do a verbal on it. We
Okay.
know it's coming anyways, but
Well, that's why I wanted to state that tonight, and I'm trying to estimate a value so the other board members, finance committee members, understand the magnitude of the transfer, so.
Right.
Yeah, but the Medicare is pretty much the only area, so if I make a motion that
If it's just limited to?
authorize the chairman to make whatever year-end transfers to cover any Medicare deficit
on a verbal basis.
on a verbal basis
Second.
prior to the end of the fiscal year.
Any discussion on that? I certainly have no problem with that. Any other thoughts, or will we capture that well enough that we can execute that if necessary, Sharon?
Well, the motion I have is to authorize the chairman to make whatever year-end transfers verbally are needed to cover the Medicare expense.
Okay, that's fine. Do we have a second on that?
Second.
Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed? So voted. That's great. So that's fine. I don't want to bring everyone in here for one vote
No,
either.
Yeah.
I don't have a problem meeting, but,
Yeah, no.
I mean, if that's,
If it's limited to that, and I think, I've had a discussion with the chair, because we implemented a cutoff date of June 6th on all POs, and met with the department heads and asked them to address any of the needs that they could see, to address it for this finance committee meeting. So hopefully the transfers will be limited in scope,
Bill, you have till Friday.
but we will keep an eye on it. If there are a handful of transfers and there is a need for you to meet, we will let you know well in advance.
Yeah, and then my point being is if there's small transfers, I don't mind doing the verbal on that, but a large one, with this exception, I would prefer to have together, and I know some of this has to be done timely, so. All right, that's all we got then. Basically, we don't have a next meeting, time or date, and I think that's a pretty darn good thing, and hopefully it's not till next fiscal year. So with that, I'll accept, what? Question?
This is it for me.
We haven't let you go yet. That was our decision, not yours.
It's been a long time.
Did someone bring a cake?
you're going to be done?
15 years. 1999
Go 30 years.
or 2000, one of the two. I forget around that time.
Well, I know I appreciate your time you've spent volunteering.
As you
on
can
this
see where
board,
I'm
so,
been tonight. It's my
you know,
days.
Absolutely, so, gotta do what you gotta do, but I certainly appreciate your time. And you'll be missed, my man.
I did say that I would stay on until they had a replacement for me, because we're already down one. I didn't think being down two was probably a good idea. So that's how I worded it to the selectmen.
Okay.
So until they get someone, I'll stay on, but.
We'll let you have your famous final scene sometime. Okay, and thanks anyways. Ian, did you have a question?
I just want to ask Ed how the local receipts look at this point, as compared to the estimate.
Strong, so we're expecting another healthy closeout. I know it's a little early on the expense side, but as we indicated throughout the process, we always remain conservative on our estimates for local receipts. Motor vehicle is coming in strong, hotel motel is still strong. So with those two alone, hopefully, with some accumulated savings on the appropriation side, hopefully we can add to our continued increase in undesignated fund balance.
And I assume the increase in the town clerk's fees have just kind of ratcheted everything right through the roof, right?
Sleeping.
Next year's issue, right? Anyways, as I think we're all done with that, I'll accept a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye, opposed, so voted. Thanks, everyone.